Hi, I'm Siraj, Microsoft freelance consultant working in Netherlands and around Europe. For today's demonstration, we will concentrate on building up no-code solution using K2 SmartForms. One question would be popping in everyone's mind that after having many series of demos on SharePoint 2030, why I have suddenly shifted my focus on K2 SmartForms for this demo. In year 2013 and 14, I was working on various integration and migration projects from older version of SharePoint 2007, Bestock 2006 R2, Infopart 2007, Nintex 2007 to new version of SharePoint 2013. In our planning phase, the major goal was to complete the migration of the existing application, workflows and services with enhancements and new development as quickly as possible. Hence, the organization decided to use SharePoint 2013, Bestock 2013, K2 BlackPearl workflow and K2 SmartForms as a technology for future migration. Well, today I'm gonna talk about building up K2 SmartForms, which is one of the most powerful, fastest and easiest way to create complex business forms for non-developers without writing any single line of code. And there are many more advantages of K2 SmartForms. I won't explain underground fundamental architecture of K2 SmartForms, but in short, I can say that when a user creates a SmartForms, all form artifacts belonging to the form like views, smart objects and forms are stored and managed in centralized repository called K2 database. K2DB is similar to the config and content database of SharePoint. For developing SmartForms, K2 provides K2 Designer UI interface that provides standard management features for all form artifacts including versioning, check-in, check-out. Access to K2 Designer and respective artifacts can be controlled through easy to manage security settings. In order to build SmartForms, first we need to build smart objects. In short, smart objects are reusable objects that describe what business data looks like customer, employee, purchase order. It is an interface to a data store. It can be web service, SharePoint list, WCF service, SQL table or a file. In our application, we will be creating smart objects which will point to data store SQL, but in K2 terminology, when data is stored in K2 database, they call it as Smartbox. In today's demonstration, the data will be stored in Smartbox, but later we will replace and migrate it to SharePoint. K2 SmartForms consist of various other elements like controls and views. There are two types of views, item view and a list view. Item view represents single data or single record. List view represents multiple data in a list. Today we will be developing interface for appraisal information system AIS. The use case for development are as follow. Provide employee an interface to raise appraisal request, appraisal comments and milestone achieved. Allow employee to upload milestone certificates and documents. Submit data to Smartbox. In demonstration we will be covering first 3 points. Rest will be demonstrated in the next subsequent video after your feedbacks. Now we will be creating following smart objects using K2 Designer. Appraisal request, milestone achievements, employee information master and skill master. Create new smart objects. Appraisal request. Change the ID to request ID. Add new field. Display name, department, manager, comments. Change the data type to number, text. For manager, data type as number, milestone achievement ID, number, employee ID, number. Click on OK and click on finish. We have created our first smart object, appraisal request. Subsequently, we will create milestone achievement smart object. New smart objects, next. Milestone achievements, next. Add field, request ID, number, milestone title, begin date, and date. Certificate of files. New skill acquired. Summarized milestone achieved. Click OK. Click finish. Next, we will be creating employee information master smart object. Click smart object. Information master. Change ID to employee ID. Add login name. Display name. First name. Last name. Date of joining. Department. Manager. Cost to company. Cost center. Click OK and finish. Next, we will create skill master. Skill ID, skill title, and click on finish. We have created all smart objects. Now we will pre-populate employee information master and skill master with some sample data. There are two ways to pre-populate sample data. The first is using smart object tester. This utility can be found in bin directory of K2 BlackPerl installation. Smart object tester exposes CRUD method. You can use create method to insert sample data. Smart object tester. Let's use create method. So now we have created two records. We can also verify and create more sample data using SQL Server Management Studio. Managing data using SQL Server Management Studio is not a recommended practice by K2. Let's refresh. Okay, skill master. Let me add more data. Next, I'll add sample data for employee information master. Next, we will be creating views. A view AIS request, view milestone achievement list, view add new milestone achievements. Now right click on appraisal request smart object and click on design view. Click on next, provide a name for the view, select as an item view, click next, select the wizard, say column as 4, select all field except comments, Make the position as left and click on OK. I will restructure the view and rearrange the columns. First, insert a new column. First ID. We will change the display. I will change the control for the display name from text box to picker and department from text box to picker. So department, select as drop down, display name, change it to picker. Next, we will bind the data source to the department. Static data source. Next, we will bind display name picker to employee information master. Now save the view. Once the view is created, it is stored in K2 database and runtime URL is used to test the view. We can test the view. Open a new tab. Cool. Next, we will create summary view. Again, right click, design view. Next, give a name for the view. Item view, click next. This time I will only select comments. Merge the cell. Save it and test the view. Cool. Next, we will create add new milestone view. Right click, milestone achievement, design view, click next. It's an item view. Column size is 4, left to right. Next, I'll restructure and rearrange columns. Let's add few more columns, rows, and certified. Drag it here. Milestone. Merge the cells. Go to controls, add two buttons, Change the name for the button. Close. Change the control type. Picker. Now set the data source. To skill master and click OK. Now we can save and test the view. Select the skills, certified professionals, QTB. Cool. Next we will create view milestone achievement list. Design view. Next, give a name. This time select a list. Wizard. Enable editing. Edit single row. Next, I'll rearrange the columns. Now disable save. And modify add event to open add new milestone achievement as a pop-up dialog. Go to rules, double click on add, go to action, search for open a subview, click on configure, provide the title, width, height, and click on finish. Now modify the edit event. Again, to open add new milestone as a pop-up dialog. Click on configure, provide the name, give the width, height. This time say next, and now drag milestone title to milestone text box, begin date to begin date, end date to end date, new acquired skill, summarized, and file, and click on finish. You can again save and test the view. So you have a blank list. Cool. Now it's a time to create a form. New form. Next, give a name, AIS, Appraisal Information System. Click next. Drag a view, appraisal request, appraisal list, and summary. Add a new tab. Give a name. Appraisal Information System, AIS. Next, give a name. Hidden panel. Set the property visible, off, enable, off. Give a name to the view. Give a title to the view. Employee details. Milestone details. And employment summary. Set the collapsible property of the view to false. Next, we will add a button submit within the form. First, drag a table, 2 column, 1 rows. Drag a button. Name the button. Submit. Align the button. Next, we will configure validation. In validation, all fields are compulsory for the user and at least one item has to be there in the milestone list. For validation, navigate to Hidden tab, drag a table, 2 columns, 4 rows, drag a text box, 1 more text box, name the first text box as txt is execute, name the second text box as has milestone item, drag the label, provide the information, suppress the form submit if the validation failed, and for this one, check the list item has at least one item. Next, we will configure the expression if list count of milestone text box is equal to 0, we'll set the value to false or we'll set it true. If we set the value to false, it means there is no item in the list and the form should not be submitted. Go to expression, give a name, go to operators, logical, drag if condition, select equal to, set the value to false, get the count of milestone text box. Good. Next, we will configure the logic. As soon as the user selects the display name, we will pre-populate employee ID, manager, and login name. And click on add. Control on a view raises an event. Select a view. Select the control. Change event. Action. Transfer data. select the control, select the smart object, drag the login name, drag manager, drag the employee ID, click on OK, finish and save. Now save the form and I'll add few more logic to add new milestone view. Click on add button, click on rules, click add new rule, go to action, search for close and close the view. Select and close, add new rule, go to action, close the subview and form, click finish, click save, and now navigate back to the form. Now we will configure few settings for the milestone detail list. Here when the user clicks on add new button, it opens a pop-up UI, user fills the milestone and the milestone should be added back to the grid too. For that we need to go to rules tab, rules, click on add toolbar button. Now go to action, search transfer, search apply changes made to the list, move the item above, click on transfer data, click on control, drag milestone text box, drag begin, drag end, summarized, file, new scale picker and click on OK. Next, apply changes made to the row, select the view list and click on finish. Similarly, we need to configure the same settings for the edit too. Search for transfer, apply, move transfer up, click on configure, controls, milestone, begin, end. Select the view, click on finish. Now we need to create a final logic to submit the data and then browse the form. Hence add a submit button to the form, an event, control on a form raises an event, select the control BTN submit, go to action, transfer data, form passes validation, execute smart object method, add the advanced condition, Click on transfer data. Click on form passes validation. Employee ID should be compulsory. Login name should have data. Manager field should have data. And comment should have a data. Click OK. Click on advance. If both are true, execute the smart object. Appraisal request. Select the method create. Configure. Drag the comment box. Login name. Display name. Employee ID. Click on next. In the output, set the request ID to request ID. Click on finish. Select the view list. Click configure. Configure the file. End date. Begin date. Milestone. But the request ID should be from request text box. Click on finish. Finish. Now save and browse the form. Submit the data. So we have validation. Select the name. Add milestones. Add more milestones. Save. Add the comments. Select the department IT and submit the data. Let us verify the data in SQL database. So we have appraisal request and we have milestones. Cool. The demo was pretty long. Hopefully you got an idea how easy it is to create complex business forms and validation using K2 SmartForms. Thank you.